snaps, or they're actually, I think, called OSNAPs, because they're object snaps, are a sort of a drawing tool assistant or assistant action where it helps make sure that we are hitting certain points. By points, I mean like endpoints, midpoints, center points, items like that, without guessing. Without knowing, I wouldn't know exactly where the center point on this arc is, but if I have my snaps or my O snaps turned on, I know that I can hit the exact center point. So for example, if I take PL, polyline, enter, and then I start to hover towards the edge of this arc, I get a little circle with a crosshair in the middle, and that's telling me that's the center point of the arc. So I can go here. If it's highlighted in green and I click, it automatically starts my polyline there. Other ones I'll see, squares are endpoints, triangles, which there should be a triangle over here somewhere. Oh, maybe we don't have our triangles on. So let's talk about those. So down here, again, we're looking at this icon panel at the bottom. There's one with a square, with a little square on the upper left-hand corner. This is our OSNAP. If we click it, if it's highlighted, it's on. If it's not, it's off. If we right-click on this is why my midpoint wasn't coming up. If you right-click on that icon, a little menu pops up, and this tells you what snaps you have active. I'll talk about why you don't want to turn all of these on. It would seem like it would be useful, but it can make things a little difficult. So what I normally have on is like endpoint, midpoint, center. Center is going to be center point of arcs and circles. Nodes are a good one to have on. We'll talk about nodes as we get into divide and things like that. Intersection, that's where two lines are crossing one another. As long as they're at the same elevation, that'll come up. Extension is sort of if you drag a line, it'll show you where you're linking up. For example, if I do this, let's make this a little longer. So if I do PL, enter, snap to the center point, drag this out, that's showing me that extension point. So I know I can click there. Sort of a combination of intersection and extension. Outside of that, I don't really turn, I'll occasionally turn perpendicular on. I'll show you how to do a once-off snap. But endpoint, midpoint, center, node, intersection, extension, all of these are really good to have as your base. So briefly talking about hotkeys, I can turn snaps on and off also by hitting F3. As you can see, it's off now, on now. It's also giving me an indication in my command prompt of what's going on. This is handy because sometimes you don't want snaps on if you've got a lot of overlapping geometry. So it's nice to kind of click it on and off. If you're drawing a line, for example, okay, we've got it on, and I want to get close to the midpoint, but I don't actually want to be at the midpoint. It's going to force me, if I get close enough to the midpoint of this arc, to click on it. So sometimes I don't want that. So I'll turn F3 off, and then I can just draw a line wherever I want. Alternatively, hit F3 again, PL, snap to that midpoint, snap to that center point, snap to that endpoint. Just makes drawing a little easier.